Soto?
Psalm 27:10 says, in case my own father and my own mother did leave me, even Jehovah himself will take me up. So even though we'll be going through hard times, when we're being rejected by our family and friends, we can always pray to Jehovah for endurance, and he will help us to be strong.
Yes. And Sister Bell.
And it mentions in the paragraph that many have had to endure rejection from their own families because they've come into the truth. But the reason that we should have confidence, not only is it mentioned that Jehovah is never going to leave us, but like the previous paragraph mentioned, that's why we incite each other to love and find works. That's why we want to greet each other at the meetings. That's why we want to talk to each other and encourage each other at the meetings, because we may be the only ones in our family in the truth. And if we don't have family here, then it can be very lonely.
True. Sister Bond.
So basically, it says showing in paragraph starting from paragraph 10, that Jehovah directed to put his servants and others possess them, and that he will also sustain them in any sort of tribulations, for Jehovah takes up the slack.
Yes, he does. And how does Hebrews 13:5 and 6 bring out that point, Sister Amy?
There's an expression there, in verse 5, he says, I will by no means leave you, nor by any means forsake you, so that we may be of good courage and say, Jehovah is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? So again, just that expression just lets us know that Jehovah will be there for us always.
That's right. Again, another statement from Jehovah that can give us courage. How do we know that he pays attention to us as individuals? We'll look at a few examples. Paragraph 11.
Consider the case of Victoria, a Bible student in Liberia. As she progressed toward baptism, the man she was living with left her and her 3 children. Despite being homeless and jobless, she continued to make spiritual progress. After Victoria's baptism, her 13-year-old daughter discovered a purse full of money. In order to avoid temptation, they decided not even to count the money. Instead, they quickly contacted the soldier to whom the purse belonged. He told them that if all people were as honest as Jehovah's Witnesses, the whole world would be better and more peaceful. From the Bible, Victoria showed the soldier Jehovah's promise of a new world. Impressed with her integrity, the soldier gave Victoria a considerable reward for the recovered funds. Indeed, implicit faith in Jehovah's ability to provide has given Jehovah's Witnesses an impeccable reputation for honesty.
So paragraph 11, what impact can our trust in Jehovah have on others? Illustrate.
Still trying to get this fly out of here. Anyway, this is
Brother Rain.
look, here it is.
I just want to start this off and let somebody else finish it, but this impressive young girl here, 13 years old, her and her mom had said that they were without jobs and they were homeless. And then she finds a big, substantial amount of money, a purse filled with money. What are we going to do? Wow, Jehovah provide for us here. Let's take this and go get ourselves a house and some food. They said they didn't even count it. That's the beginning.
Yes. Oh boy, that temptation, has got to be strong to think that, maybe even act on it. Brother Soto.
And to finish off what Brother Tim Raven was talking about, the military man said to her, once she returned first back to him, said that there were more people like me.
Dear
So it was an
Fly.
impact on him.
Bear Fly,
And
where are
he
you?
said only Jehovah's Witnesses would do
Live.
something like that. And it's
Traffic is
beautiful
good,
because that
weather's even
also
better.
brings you to another case. When we had an experience
Get
like
ready
that,
to
my
get out of
wife
here
in a
today.
shopping center found a purse full of money.
And we have to close
And
the
she could
show.
have said, well, we needed the towels, let's go.
But we're going on
But she
17
didn't. What she
days.
did
No,
was she opened the purse, found out the
18.
individual's address.
This
and
flag
name.
has been
And
here.
she also managed to find the person's
He's still
phone
flying around.
and called her up, and that person was very grateful. I don't know if that person has ever come into the truth, but I know that gave her a lot to think about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes, thank you. Definitely why it says an impeccable reputation for honesty. No question about it. Paragraph 12, please.
Or imagine how Thomas, an unbaptized publisher in Sierra Leone, must have felt. He started working as a teacher in a secondary school, but he could not receive his salary for nearly 1 year until the paperwork was final. What was the last requirement? Thomas had to meet before receiving his salary and pay back an interview with the school administrator, a priest. The priest explained that the beliefs of Jehovah's Witnesses were not compatible with those of the Institute. He insisted that Thomas choose between his job and his Bible-based beliefs. Quitting that job and forfeiting nearly a year's salary, Thomas found other work, repairing radios and mobile phones. As this and numerous similar examples show, fear of privation may be the object of other people's dread, but it is no match for our well-founded trust in the Creator of all things and Protector of His people.
So for 12, what do we demonstrate when we continue to serve Jehovah despite suffering material loss or strain? Brother Hill? We have the example of Thomas here, an unbaptized publisher, realizing that it was between his job or his Bible-based beliefs. His priest was the administrator, and he chose Jehovah. More so than he chose any money or his salary, and he forfeited nearly a year's worth of pay. But it just shows that Jehovah will sustain us throughout anything if we lean on him. Yes. Very well said. So that's why it says, maybe other people may dread such, but we have trust in Jehovah. He always does take care of us, doesn't he? Paragraph 13.
In a number of lands where living conditions are challenging, kingdom proclaimers are often markedly active. Why is this? One branch office writes, many householders accepting Bible studies are unemployed and therefore have more time to study during the day. Others also have more time to preach. People, especially in the worsted areas, do not have to be told that we are living in the last days. They see the conditions all around them. A missionary serving for over 12 years in a land where every publisher conducts on average more than 3 Bible studies writes, since many of the publishers have a simple lifestyle with few distractions, they generally have more time for the field ministry and Bible study work. Jehovah has promised to help. Oops, sorry.
That's all right. 13. How is the kingdom preaching work progressing in lands where material resources are scarce? Sister Bell?
Sometimes we would think that those brothers would have to work even harder and longer in order to provide for their families. But like it mentions, because so many are unemployed and they have more time to study, they actually are more active usually in the field service, put in more hours than people that live sometimes in more affluent countries. And I like how it mentions you don't really have to explain to people that they're living in the last days. They see it all the time. They know the conditions that they're in. So that one brother mentioned they have fewer distractions, they have a simpler lifestyle, so they have more time for the ministry and Bible study.
Yes, amazing, isn't it? Brother Hill, And it really shows the reliance on Jehovah. You may not have much, but relying on Jehovah, you're becoming rich spiritually. We pray for Bible studies all the time. If they have, 3, 4, 5 Bible studies, and they really lean on Jehovah. They're not going hungry. They're not going without for the basic necessities. Jehovah is providing for them. So we really need to look at that also and realize that during anything we need to lean on Jehovah, and He will provide for us as long as we're putting kingdom interests first.
Yes. Food for thought, no doubt about that. And summing up this subheading, paragraph 14.
Jehovah has promised to help, protect, and deliver His people as a group, physically and spiritually, and we trust in Him. The crowd that survived the Great Tribulation must indeed be great. Thus, that crowd, as a group, will be shielded from the extinction throughout the remainder of the last days. They will be supplied with everything they need to endure trials and to safeguard their relationship with Jehovah. And throughout the final phase of the Great Tribulation, Jehovah will protect His people.
So for 14, in what ways can the great crowd enjoy divine protection? Samantha?
They will be supplied with everything they need to endure trials and safeguard their relationship with Jehovah. And throughout the final phase of the Great Tribulation, Jehovah will protect His people.
Yes, thank you. And that will be because Jehovah will give us each individual bubbles to surround us, to protect us, right? That's the protection that's being talked about. Brother Young?
Well, we're not to expect that. Jehovah doesn't really promise that individually will each go through the Great Tribulation unscathed. Maybe some casualties, some hands to be resurrected. But as a whole, Jehovah will not allow His people to be effaced from the earth. That's the challenge. That Satan will never be able to remove true worship from this planet.
Yes. And those scriptures that it mentions from Psalm 37 and Psalm 91, you read those and you feel what? Know what? Sister Soda?
Just to feel protected for the reason that Psalm 37, 28 says that Jehovah is the lover of justice and He will not leave His loyal ones. So Jehovah is our creator, and He knows what we need, and He would always provide for His servants.
Yes, thank you. Brother Hill.
It also brings out in Psalm 91 that Jehovah is a dwelling place in secret, and that He's also our refuge and our stronghold and our rock. So really we feel comforted that no matter what, we'll have that protection from Jehovah. We may make it, like as Brother Young said, we may make it, we may not. But no matter what, we know that Jehovah remembers each and every one of us and our faithfulness towards Him.
And that is because we've done what? Or what kinds of things? Brother Soda?
Yeah, because we've done all the requirements that Jehovah has given us, our commandments. We study the Bible. We attend the Kingdom Hall meetings. We're out on field service, and most of all, we congregate with the brothers and sisters because we also want to know their feelings just like ours.
Yes, Brother Amy.
Sorry. Unity, 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 unity.
So again, in Psalms 37, it mentions that Jehovah will not leave His loyal
I get
ones.
rolling.
We have to remain loyal to Jehovah.
The show must go on and on
Again,
and on and on.
Scripture in 2 Peter.
And we'll see you back tonight, and we'll take care of one another. Unity, 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 unity.
Jehovah's going to do His